Hello, Gott. We're here today to talk about prosperity. Not that fancy stuff we see on TV, you know? We're talking about real prosperity, the kind that makes us feel good inside and out. God, we know you're always keeping an eye on us, like an eagle watching over its chicks. You see when we're down on our luck, counting pennies to buy bread. But you also bring joy when we manage to pay off an overdue bill. Phew. We want to thank you for everything you've already done. Remember that time the car broke down and a friend showed up to help? Or when we found some change in an old coat pocket? These little things are you in action, right? God, sometimes we're scared about the future. It's like we're on a roller coaster of life, going up and down nonstop. It gives us butterflies. But then we remember you're in control, holding us tight. We want to ask for your help to have more than we need. Not to get rich like Scrooge McDuck, swimming in coins. We just want enough to live well and still help others. Like that story of the little fish that fed a crowd. We want to be like that little fish. God, give us a hand to be smart with money. Sometimes we act like a kid in a candy store, wanting to buy everything. Help us think before spending, like an ant storing food for winter. And you know those crazy ideas we sometimes have? Like selling sweets on the street or creating a new app. We ask that you give these ideas a little push. Who knows, one of them might turn to gold, right? God, we also want health to work. What's the point of having money if we're sick as a dog? We want energy to chase our dreams, jumping like a rabbit with excitement. Help us see opportunities, God. Sometimes they're right in front of us and we don't even notice. It's like we have a blindfold on. Please, take that blindfold off for us. We want to learn more, God. Knowledge is power, right? Help us be curious like a cat, always wanting to discover new things. Who knows, we might invent the square wheel. God, make us remember to give too. It's no good just receiving, and receiving. Life is like a boomerang. What we throw comes back to us. So we want to throw good things. We ask that you open the right doors for us. You know when we're in a hallway full of doors and don't know which one to open? Well, give us that light to choose the right path. God, help us not to give up when things get tough. Life is sometimes like climbing a mountain with a backpack full of rocks. We feel like sitting down and crying. But we know you're up there at the top, cheering for us to make it. We want to have eagle eyes to see opportunities and lion courage to grab them. Make us quick as a hare to take advantage of the good chances that come up. God, help us be good at what we do. It doesn't matter if we sweep streets or run a company, we want to do the best we can. Who knows, we might become the world's best street sweeper. We ask that you multiply the little we have. Remember that story of the loaves and fishes? Do that with our money too. Who knows, we might end up with zero hunger on our street. God, make us like a tree, with strong roots to withstand life storms, and branches full of fruit to feed those who are hungry. We want to have an open mind for new ideas. Sometimes we get stuck in the same way of thinking, like a broken record. Give our heads a shake so we can think differently. Help us not to be afraid to dream big, God. We sometimes dream small because we think we don't deserve more. But we know you want to see us soaring high like an eagle. God, make us remember that money isn't everything. We want to have a truly rich life, full of love, friends, and joy. Because what's the point of having a safe full of gold if the heart is empty? We ask that you bless the work of our hands. Whatever we do, may it bear good fruit. May our work be like a seed, small at first, but grows and becomes a huge tree. God, help us to be patient. Prosperity sometimes takes a while to arrive, right? It's like waiting for a little plant to grow. We get anxious, wanting to pull it out of the ground to see if it's growing. But we know everything has its time. We want to have wisdom in dealing with money. Sometimes we act like a child in a toy store, wanting to buy everything. Make us as smart as a fox when it comes to spending. God, help us not to compare our lives with others. We know everyone has their own path. There's no point in wanting the neighbor's car if we don't even know how to drive, right? We ask that you bless our partnerships. Whether at work or in business, may we know how to work as a team. Because together we're stronger, like a group of ants carrying a huge leaf. God, make us grateful for what we already have. Sometimes we're so focused on what's missing that we forget to be thankful for what we've already achieved. It's like looking only at the hole in the donut and forgetting about the whole donut. We want to have the courage to try new things. Sometimes fear paralyzes us, you know? It's as if we're frozen like a popsicle. Melzeteis, Gott. Help us to always be honest, God. We know the easiest path isn't always the right one. Make us as straight as a ruler, even when we feel like taking shortcuts. God, we ask that you multiply our skills. Everyone has a different gift, right? May we use these gifts to grow and help others grow too. We want to have a generous heart. May we be able to share what we have, whether it's little or much. Because the joy of giving is greater than receiving, isn't it? God, help us to be creative in difficult times. When life gives us lemons, may we know how to make a really sweet lemonade. We ask that you open our eyes to see the small blessings. Sometimes we're waiting for a huge gift and don't see the little presents we're already receiving every day. Gott, meku es persistent. May we not give up on the first fall, but get up and keep running after our dreams. Like those Weeble toys that always stand up. We want to have an entrepreneurial spirit, God. May we see opportunities where others only see problems. Like turning scrap into art, you know? Help us not to be afraid to ask for help when we need it. We sometimes want to act tough, but everyone needs a helping hand once in a while, right? God, we ask that you guide our decisions. May we choose the right paths, even when they seem harder. It's like choosing the stairs instead of the elevator. It's more work, but it's good for your health. We want to have a grateful heart, God. May we see the good side even in bad situations. Because even on a rainy day, you can jump in puddles and have fun, right? God, help us be good with the money we already have. May we know how to make every penny count, like stretching a pizza dough to feed more people. We ask that you give peace to our hearts. Because there's no point in having a lot of things if we're always worried, right? We want to have that tranquility of someone in a hammock on a Sunday afternoon. God, make us remember to rest too. We sometimes run around like a headless chicken chasing money and forget to enjoy life. Help us find balance, like a juggler with his balls. We want to have eyes to see the needs of others. May we use what we have to make a difference in someone's life. Because sometimes a little for us can be a lot for someone else. God, help us not to lose hope in difficult times. May we be like those flowers that grow in the asphalt, strong and beautiful, even in an unlikely place. We ask that you bless our talents. Everyone has a special way of doing things, right? May we use these talents to prosper and bless others. God, make us good at business, but without stepping on anyone. May we grow, but helping others grow too. It's like climbing a mountain hand in hand. Everyone reaches the top together. We want to have the wisdom to invest in what matters. Not just in things, but in people, in knowledge, in experiences. Because that's real wealth, right? God, help us to be flexible. The world is always changing, and we need to know how to adapt. May we be like water. If there's a rock in the way, we go around it and keep moving forward. We ask that you bless our relationships. Because good people by our side are worth more than gold, aren't they? True friends are like stars. We don't always see them, but we know they're always there. God, make us brave to chase our dreams. Sometimes it's scary to try, but we know you're always by our side. It's like learning to ride a bike. At first we fall, but once we learn, we never forget. We want to have a heart full of faith, God. Faith in you, faith in ourselves, faith in the future. Because with faith, we can even move mountains, right? God, help us be grateful for the work we have. Whether cleaning floors or running a company, may we do everything with joy and dedication. Because work is a blessing, not a punishment. We ask that you open our ears to hear good advice. Sometimes we think we know everything, but there's always something new to learn. It's like a sponge. There's always room to absorb more. God, make us generous even when we have little. Because sharing the little we have is better than keeping a lot just for ourselves. It's like lighting a candle. The light doesn't diminish just because you lit someone else's candle. We want to have a heart free of envy and jealousy. May we be happy with the success of others, instead of brooding over it. Because the joy of others can be our inspiration, right? God, help us not to despair in difficult times. May we have calm and confidence, knowing that after the storm always comes the rainbow. We ask that you multiply our strength. Sometimes we feel tired, with no energy for anything. Give us that extra boost, like when we drink a strong coffee in the morning. God, make us humble to learn from mistakes. We know that sometimes we'll stumble and fall, but the important thing is to get up and try again. It's like skateboarding. Those who never fell never really learned. We want to have discernment to recognize good opportunities. Sometimes they appear in disguise, you know? It's like finding a pearl inside an oyster. You need to know where to look. God, help us to be patient with the process. Prosperity doesn't always come overnight. It's like baking a cake. You have to wait the right time in the oven, otherwise it stays raw inside. We ask that you bless the sweat of our brow. May every drop of effort bear good fruit. Because there's no harvest without planting, right? God, make us creative in business. May we think outside the box, invent new things. Who knows, we might create the next business that will change the world. We want to have